What is happening, budget builders, and welcome back to the GMC Motorhome Rescue. If you're just now joining, welcome. We're so glad to have you. This is a 1973 GMC Motorhome that was abandoned. We rescued this thing. We got it running.
Drive time.
After many years, and we got it driving. We drove it back here. This thing was absolutely disgusting. I'm afraid this thing had been through quite a bit. We completely gutted this thing. The kids helped us clean the outside of it, and then it was time to start rebuilding. You may notice some new modern stuff on the top of the camper here. We purchased a new camper that had been totaled and gutted it and stripped all the good stuff to install in this. Once we got all of that in place, we started building cabinets. We got our rear bedroom taken care of, our bathroom remodeled, our kitchen built, and we've been working on the living area up front here. In today's video, let's get that finished up. Let's get our front cockpit taken care of. We've got a few really neat things on the outside here that are really gonna tie this thing together that we're super excited about. It's winter time, and heat would be nice. It went green. That might have already been in the pipe because we don't have toilet paper in here yet. Oh no. Well, the heat works. It comes with TP. This thing has definitely fought us a bit in the summertime being so hot with that AC because nothing was finished. We weren't insulated, the windows weren't covered. We definitely need to get them tinted and everything. But the heat, on the other hand, wow, I love gas heat. It is already cooking in here. Let's continue. Moving into our next step here, you can see us trimming up our material, which is actually a marine weave, similar to what is used for pontoon decking. We wanted something that was going to be a bit more resilient than carpet, obviously foot traffic, and then the possibility of moisture with the condensation in there, going in and out during a rainy day or something, and UV longevity. We know that this is going to last a long time, and it should look really nice in the front of the camper. We've gotten everything fitted now. Definitely took quite a bit to try to get everything kind of tucked underneath everywhere. It's a big piece of material, and it's a pretty stiff piece of material compared to just using I guess carpet's pretty, I don't know. I give it to the people that do this for a living. This is a monster. Anyways, now it's time to start gluing. We'll be using the Weldwood contact cement. We use that on all of our interior stuff. Seems to do really well and last. We'll start right here at our engine hatch, and then we'll start working our way out, making sure everything's nice and tight and the floor is sitting well. As far as the front goes, it really can't move up there, so we'll let it float in around the edges. And then most of the middle will be held down by our seat bases. Pushing over our corner here, our outside corners do really well. The insides buckle pretty bad. That's why we cut this thing short, because we don't need all of it anyways. And hopefully pushing them in together will look pretty good. If not, we'll have to do a little bit of a bead there. Let's get this thing propped up. You get a coat on there, you wait about 15 minutes until it's good and tacky, and then we'll do a second coat. And about 15 minutes later, when it's good and tacky again, you can adhere it. Using the original as a template, we have our handle. There is our hatch. We have a storage compartment. All of our wiring is done. Lights are hooked up. Heater's in place. And as far as cabinetry goes, the entire side of this camper is finished up. Super, super pleased with how that front compartment is coming together. That material laid out really nice, and I do think it looks really good, and it's going to be durable and long lasting for many years to come, especially with the kids in here. We do have a little bit to work around up front still. We need to either make, well, I cannot locate the aluminum trim that goes up there. I'm hoping to find some, or we'll just probably end up having to make some. Not a big deal though, but that's just a little bit we have to button up. And of course, a few more things on the dash. But going ahead and getting the living compartment finished up, we've got the side completely put back together. Now that we were able to install it for good, made our little door, of course, using the old stuff as templates. That's kind of why you keep everything. Pretty pleased with our seatbelt location here and how everything is kind of tying in there. Moving from this side to this side, let's see if we can get this dinette taken care of. Here's what we have to work with. No, we're not going to be putting these back in. Just like everything in there, extremely poor condition, but templates for us to build new. We'll start with our front here. We'll pull this thing apart piece for piece using each little section as a template. Gonna do the bottom just a little bit different, kind of like we did the other side. I'll kick this out. And the reason we're doing that is because cost savings. We've got a bunch of little scraps that are the right length, but not the right width. And so we're gonna try to use up everything we have. Because panels, each of those pieces of plywood, we've been able to kind of work around and figure out how to use it everywhere we possibly can. We've only had to buy a few pieces for the entire camper so far, and at $50+ a piece, that saves a good bit of money as far as wood goes in the interior. Okay, this is cutting off the bag. With our back piece done, we have to do something a little bit different because you're going to have open edges, and that involves this thing here. This is a router, and this bit is from Harbor Freight. This is a slotting bit, so we can slot our edge, and then install our T-molding. Okay. No pressure.
No pressure.
For our fronts, we're obviously making full pieces instead of doing the step to kind of match everything in the interior. We've got to do something with the top here. I like the green mold, but I think we're going to do away with that. It's actually pretty gross. We're going to design this one just like we did the other side. We'll do a piece, and then we'll have a lip on the inside for the seat box to lay down on. We'll put a little cap, and then we'll put a piece of trim on the front for the table to sit down on and make our full bed across, instead of doing whatever they have going on here. This would work, but that'd be a lot of fiddling around trying to make that all work. And I think doing it the other way should look nice as well.
Dad is always whipping up some fine CAD.
Whatever. I'm being serious. This is every nice crisp edge we have on the camper is because you made these
Fancy little cardboard things.
Ooh, that creaky board stinks. Yeah. Go ahead. Too many fingers hanging out.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to get them out of the way.
There she is. Go. It's good. Beautiful. No clue. I'm just trying to see about where we are. How cool is it to see all of this coming together finally? So excited for all this. Now in our last video, we had talked about upholstery. I had a couple different options and we asked all of you what you thought. We really appreciate all the comments and the feedback. There was a huge majority of you that said the original upholstery quite honestly matched better than anything. And honestly, I think Dad and I both agree it does look really good in here. What's nice is I think most of it has stayed covered. It doesn't smell that bad. It wasn't like full of mice or anything, and it's actually in pretty good shape. Plus that saves us a lot of time and money and effort as far as upholstery goes. So for now, we loaded everything up. We took it to the laundromat. We sprayed everything down with some stain remover, and then we threw it in the washer, and we've got it drying on the fence out there. We're about to rewrap everything, put it in here, and see how it looks. Oh, it smells so fresh, and I'm excited. Our front seats need a little bit of work here and there, but because we did everything a bit different in the back, we have a lot of extra. So what's nice is as far as needing extra pieces to fix stuff, we've got all of that. So it does kind of make sense, and I think it'll look good. And then of course, if we want to change it down the road here in the near future, we can do that. But for now, we've got it. Let's get it in here. Let's see how it looks. Now these really don't smell that bad, just kind of a, I don't know, kind of an old smell. But we're gonna soak it down with this odor eliminator and let that kind of soak in it and air out here in the sun. Eliminate any odor there. And then as we put our covers on, we're gonna put some dryer sheets in there just to give it a good fresh smell for when we're going back in the camper there. Hiccup, hiccup. And these also apparently keep mice away. That might be a wives' tale, but I remember hearing that. Oh look, there's a little stain there. It's okay, that's on the bottom. Exactly, Dad. I like it. I think we got a couple little stains that did not come out. We can take these individually. I'll take them home and get Kayla to work on those one at a time. Yeah, it's about like a camper dinette. What do you think? Oh, that's nice. Rewarding. I think you all were right. That original plaid is definitely the right call. Last of the washed stuff. You'll notice with our original cushion in, we're just a little too short right here. And to take that void, we made this cute little box. We can stick coloring books and stuff down in there. And then we'll make a lid. With our box lid, this is where some of this extra material is going to come into play. Yeah, that's an armrest for the kids. I'm gonna be driving this thing anyways. What'd you make, Dad? Let me see. Look at that! Had this wire exposed and weren't sure how to make a box or what to go there. And Dad made this fancy little piece of PVC. And now the wire's gone. The kitchen blind, one that we have to make some modifications to. Thankfully, this is the smallest and by far the most inexpensive, so it's not, if we mess up, we mess up. I hope we don't. We were able to slide the top cap off here. We're gonna cut it shorter and this will let it kind of wrap around that upper cabinet. Hopefully, we're gonna find out. It looks like all of the mechanism and everything is on the inside, so we're able to cut out here. It shouldn't harm anything, we don't think, but we'll find out.
This is not brand new anymore.
Flipped in better now and working like it should. And you probably heard, yeah, welcome to South Carolina. We had the heater on because it was 30 yesterday. We've got the AC on because it's 70 today. Our last and probably most major blind, this rear one, you'll probably notice we had to mount it down here, and that's because we're mounting it upside down. Thank goodness these are Venetian style blinds. I think I said that right. And we can mount it upside down. That's basically the only way to do it because of how everything was designed back here. This was the only way that we could do it. Thank goodness we were, these work upside down. Well, at least we hope so. We're gonna find out once we get it in here. This is probably the best spot anyways for mounting as far as strongest. We're right here at this corner, right here where our screws are. We drilled and riveted these in. Everything seems to be holding really good. So we should be able to mount this here in place. The only place we found sturdy enough to mount these is right here in the framing. And if you can't tell, it only lets you go up so far. I think we're gonna have to do a little figuring out, maybe reworking of this one. But it's in there, and it'll cover half the window. So you can sleep in here and still have light cup. See, look, that's perfect. That's perfect. We got the mattress coming on the way too, so we'll see that here soon. I think the best way to actually do this is drill a bolt from the outside of the camper. So we'll just put one bolt with a nut on it, and you'll stick it through and put the nut and tighten it down, and it'll come through this here, and then you can either double nut it or something so it's nice and firm, and then it'll get these up in the corners where they're supposed to be. But that's a project we'll spend a little bit of time on here soon and hopefully get that dialed in. But man, it's coming together. Our last pieces of interior, this and the front seats, will have to be cleaned using my wife's stolen steam cleaner, which if you can't tell has now become the shop steam cleaner. This should take out the last little bit of stuff we have going on here. We can get this last piece in. Of course, the fronts we have to do a little bit of work on before we can get them in. much better. Little sun-baked. Compared to this, that was tucked away for a long time. Still a pretty nice fabric. There you have it. We painted the brackets Wimbledon white, which I think fits well. And if you can't tell, we found a bracket. This right here is actually an airplane seatbelt extender, which matches this. Now the kids can safely sit up there and do some camping. Well, what'd you do, Dad? My good idea wasn't so good. Moving back outside, one major thing, this thing's of course missing, is an awning. I'm not sure it ever had it, but we definitely want to get one in there. Now I have been researching and looking. This uses a curved kind of Airstream style, like a Zip D or an A&E, and they're nowhere. And they're astronomical when you do find them. We've been looking for wrecked Airstreams, other kind of options just to see what we could find. And then something popped up and I did not believe it. As soon as I saw it, we bought it. Original, new old stock, A&E Dinette arms for a GMC motorhome specific. They were $100 a piece. I had no idea how that even happened. These are like $2,000 or $3,000 awning setups. So we're extremely excited to get this. And what's great about this style is it just uses a normal awning. They're just the arms, but it just uses like an 8500 A&E awning, which are everywhere. I'm so excited for this. I cannot wait to get this thing stuck on here. Let's start building our awning up. We actually mounted our bottom base here lower than most of these appear to be mounted. And if you can't tell, we're not fully dropping. And so we're not getting to where we need to be. And that's because we're hitting our curve right here. So what we're gonna have to do is just shorten this a bit. And even with that, I mean, this arm's 160 miles out there. So I think it'll be just fine. It's a little nerve-wracking having to modify some things, but I guess that's just how you have to do it. Look at that. Now, I'm pretty sure you're supposed to mount the top and then find the bottom. We didn't do that. So thank goodness it actually fit right where it's supposed to. Definitely not ecstatic about going into the fiberglass here, but we're at least in a super strong point. And with both of these bolts on this side, we were able to hit the aluminum. So that makes me feel better. A lot of times you see these things where you move the lights and you just screw into the fiberglass and they're always ripped out of here. We wanted to, I mean, this thing's made of aluminum. We want to mount to that if possible, and we were able to get it in here. It's a little funky, I guess. I think it looks pretty good. Should be sealed up nice and should not go anywhere. The only thing I don't like, bottom looks super good, but is those screws running through. That's how it's designed. It's made to be somewhat universal, so you could use it on a lot of different style roofs. I wonder if we can make little end caps that cover it up. Stuff like that just sometimes bothers me. I am so pleased and so happy to see those things on. I was stressing over getting an awning on here. It's a huge part of the look of these, and definitely something we want to have for camping. It's so nice to pop the awning out, be able to get a little bit of shade, especially in the summertime and stuff. And man, that's gonna look pretty cool.
Now we can mount the little drip rail here, and this is what the awning canvas will slide into. This is obviously used. That came off of another camper.
Yo! Here's our tube. You'll see nothing left of the canvas that was on here, but we got a new canvas that hopefully will match that. Just an inexpensive Amazon special, but there was nothing, unless you get the Zip D, you can't get stripes. Hopefully it'll look pretty good. I got something I think will go well with the camper itself. With the canvas being bad, the tension was already let off back here, so we'll pull this side off. We have to take about 1 foot off the tube because it's a little long. Slide our new canvas in, re-drill our holes, rivet that into place, and then we can set it up here and get our tension. That's why it's hard. It's hard with Liberson. It took an hour. It's there. Also notice we only have a single pleat instead of a double like the original. So it's probably wrong. But we're kind of where we're at. I'm gonna get it. We're gonna try to get it on here, and if it doesn't work right, we'll have to get another one. Cheap doesn't always mean good. We probably should have bought a $200 canvas instead of a $100 canvas, but I liked the look of this one. Yeah, no.
with both sides completely loose and detensioned. To set our initial tension, we may have to adjust it a bit, is just coil it up, latch it into place, and pull it out. And if we need to tighten it up a little bit, I'll show you. We'll put some pins in here, pull it out just a little bit, put some pins in it, and then tighten it up just a bit more. But hopefully one good roll up should be enough for 2 people to roll this thing out. It's up there. Yeah, that's awesome. One project that I'd really like to address is better latches for these rear doors and a better way of holding it up. These new locks come directly from Amazon. I think they should go right in place of the original, look okay, and be lockable. And then to hold it up, we've got a gas strut and mounts, and this came off of that parts camper. Hopefully we can make this work. I don't personally have a use for them, but somebody somewhere might be looking for original latches, so we'll take care not to completely destroy them. By filing, we are able to keep our flat edges while kicking out our curve a bit. So this tumbler will drop in here and still be locked into place for the key to function correctly. Look at that. So much better. And I like that, you know, if we're taking this thing off-roading, trailing somewhere, which we probably won't, but if we do, we're not snagging on the stuff. Plus our LP and our batteries are locked up. Now, obviously that's just keeping an honest thief out, but I do feel like that was a nice little inexpensive thing that we were able to do to kind of tidy things up and make it look just a bit better. And again, what's nice up front here is once we especially get our batteries and everything put in here, everything is locked up and in place. I feel like that does look a lot better than just having the little hinge things there, or the little latch, the external latches. Just little details like that, I feel like make a project like this come together, especially when you're doing at-home stuff. This is little things you can knock out over a weekend. Oh my goodness, I already know I'm literally gonna get pelted when this thing opens. Oh no. But here's our new mattress. This is a XL, or a full XL. Lengthwise, instead of 74 inches being 80, because we added that little bit of extension there, which is nice for someone that is both down or 6 foot tall. Well, that's gradually getting shorter, but he was 6 foot tall.
Have you done one of these before?
No, you have.
I know. I did it on an open rim. I don't know how this is going to go out.
What the heck? Does it fill up?
It's a blow up. Okay, that one's a little different than ours, huh?
It's gotta breathe. Give it a second. It's like, it's like sucking the air in, I guess, because like you said, because it's vinyl. It's good height though. That's only a 7-inch. Should be perfect for a camper. Cool. Just take that corner right here. Pretty excited to show you this that's gonna button up our floor. I reached out to my friend Duncan here locally with Indigo Customs, and he designed and fabricated this for us. Check that out. GMC re-envisioned by Budget Builds. And this right here will be our step-in ledge, kind of our little doorstep. Goes right in place here. I don't know about y'all, but I am so pumped to finally see this thing really taking shape. Really taking shape. I mean, we are in the last stages. All of the major fabrication is done. Basically, the motorhome part of this camper, the camping part, is finished. Blinds back here, we need to do a little work on that one. Mattress is in. So comfortable. Need to get a couple pillows. Everything here is tidied up. Batteries are here charging on the solar panels. I just kind of thought that was a neat touch. I saw that thing, had to stick it in there. We did install some stops for the doors. So those are there.
Dinette is finished, a little cover put in place. Next is obviously a table. Because of the width of this one, we had to get it finished before we could order what we needed for it. Now we know what we need. We can get the right 3/4 inch wood, fix it up, get it all cleaned up and set up the way that it needs to be, get our table mounted in place, and this bed will be done. Really happy with how all of this cleaned up here. Still have to button this thing up now that we had to shorten it. And of course, finish our steps. We've got some stuff to finish up the dash. We'll have it completely done in our next video. Few little trim pieces and eventually windshields. We've got to save up for those, and that'll be something we can get out here, start using this thing, and then hopefully go to like a GMC rally or something and get some windshields put in it. Really happy with how that step there came out. We'll have to put a little floor mat or something in place, but that is, I feel like, just kind of the cherry on top. It's pretty neat to be able to open the door and see that there, like when we take it to car shows and stuff like that. We've got to finish this door. We've got a few things we've got to work out as far as getting the panel back on, but that should be no problem to be able to button it up. And then a few little service items for drivability, and we're ready to take this thing out. It's already insured. We're fixing to get it registered, and we have some trips planned in the next month or two. So this thing has to be done, and it is basically there. Just a few odds and ends. Dad out here enjoying the little fireplace. I like that we were able to hook it into the auxiliary port that we were able to put off of the other camper on here. And that's nice. We normally make our, normally camping, we'll make a fire. But if you're getting in late from a road trip, and you want to grill something real quick or at least get a little fire going, I feel like that's a nice thing to have. And it was a pretty cheap one off of Amazon. And I feel like it kind of ties everything in together. Of course, the big thing for me, the awning. I feel like that really ties this thing in together and makes it what a camper should be. This is going to be so much fun for camping, obviously. Maybe going to some cruise-ins, some car shows and stuff like that. But with just a few more odds and ends to button everything up in our next video, we're loading the family up and we're going to take this thing camping. I really hope you all have enjoyed. And if you have, and you haven't already, you want to see more on this rescue and some of our other rescues, be sure to subscribe button and notification bell to keep up with our future uploads. And if you have been a part of the channel, I know Dad and I, he's over there sleeping, really do appreciate you all. Peace out, and catch you all on the flip side.